texting Lucas McCann this morning, former Seahawks social host with us. He's going to be back. I swear he's going to be back. I went for a nice cough with Lucas.
Yeah.
Cough. I call coffee cough. Nice cough. You know why I call it cough? Because then you can say, hey, Carl, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Do you want to go for cough?
Yeah. Just nice and short to the point.
No. Slow that down. Faux cough. What does that sound like? Fuck off? I think it's funny. Want to go for cough? What? Anyway, inside joke, I guess. Nobody get it. Went for a nice cough with Lucas, and we were chatting about Seahawks and how disappointing the week was last week. And really, neither of us were in an emotional state to do a podcast last week, which is why I think we probably would have said some things we regret.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a good idea. But now, obviously, waking up on a Monday morning and having a victory 24 hours ago feels much, much better. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're as involved and as into the Seahawks yet. I know you're getting more and more every year. And even when we started this podcast, whatever, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, whatever, you weren't really a Seahawks fan.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like this podcast is kind of pushing you in that favor.
For me, man, I'm just one of those guys. I don't have favorites for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have a favorite NBA team, no favorite NFL team, whatever. But doing the podcast, getting involved, knowing the guys' names, looking forward week to week, it changes things. And you have to become involved.
And even when I'm like talking about guys, like, I don't know how much you knew about Trey Flowers or whoever, right? The guys that we were hating on last year, our offensive coordinator, there's like a hair from my hand that's right in my peripherals. Like the OC last year, you probably weren't necessarily paying attention to that stuff, but as I was bringing it up, it probably gets you more involved. And as you're watching the game on Sunday, you're like, yeah, that was a fucking bad play call. What the hell was that?
Because you just start hearing their names, right? And then the announcers start saying their names and other people, and then you just make the connections.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand these names, then you just can't get involved as much as you want.
Yeah. Football's such a strange sport that I don't know. I mean, like, European soccer definitely has some ridiculously passionate, diehard, lifelong fans.
Mm-hmm.
But there isn't really another sport in North America that has the same cult following type of thing as the NFL, right?
No.
NBA doesn't have that.
No.
MLB doesn't have that. Hockey definitely doesn't have that. It's just different. And it's such a different sport that there's one game every week. It's on the same day every week. Like, it's always on Sundays.
Yeah.
And people just revolve their schedules weekly around what they're doing
just
on Sunday
one day
for the game.
Yeah. I think that one game a week really helps because there's just so much more importance, right? Some NBA teams, you'll have 4 games, right, in a week. MLB, you'll have how many games? 6, man? Like,
MLB has a season of 162 games. And they have something hilarious. Like, throughout the entire season, they have 12 days off.
Yeah, that's insane.
Something crazy.
So how are you supposed to be able to keep up with that? Like, how can you be invested? It's too much. You miss a couple games and you just fall behind, right?
Every game like has such a little meaning.
Yeah.
Especially like early in the year, like game 42 of a 162 game season. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you had an off night and you lost 19-1. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but one game, like, especially this past week, yesterday's game and next week's game being back-to-back divisional games.
Mm-hmm.
If you go 0-2 in those 2 games, it is unbelievably massive for how your season is going to shape out, right?
Oh,
you can still make the playoffs, but it's going to be so much harder because then you basically have to beat those 2 teams next time you play them. Football's kind of funny, man, where you have like really small divisions. You got 4 teams in each division, so you play 3 teams twice every year, and those 6 games are just huge. 6 out of, well, now 17 because they added a week this year.
Yeah, it's weird.
So you have 17 games, but 6 out of 17 are division games, and they're so big on your playoff outlook.
No other sport is really that like division important, right? I mean,
because there's too many games.
That's
why,
yeah.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
And other sports, I guess MLB does. MLB is like the winner of each division makes the playoffs.
So it makes it okay.
Versus like hockey, basketball. They have conferences,
East and West,
right?
yeah.
It's like the top 8 in the conference make the playoffs. It's not necessarily your division. But the winner of your division, even if you're under 500, like we saw that, was that last year or the year before in the NFC East?
That was last year.
The Cowboys. Yeah. They were 7-9, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they won the division.
Isn't that crazy? And then I think, was it in the NFC West that there was the Seahawks who won the division? Then there was the Rams and the Cardinals, who I think were both 10-win teams.
I believe so. Yeah.
So someone's getting into the playoffs at 7-9, and there's 10-win teams that aren't.
Yeah, I remember talking about that a lot last year. We had huge issues with it because it's kind of bullshit.
It's the system. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy system. It works really well when your division is shit. Like, I think the Seahawks made the playoffs one year at 8-8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that. It was 7-9, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Let me double check. Yeah.
Well, I think that was the year we beat the Saints, right? In the first round.
7-9.
7-9.
They made it, yeah.
And then that was the Marshawn Lynch run. Remember that run at the end of the game?
Yes, I do. They fucking replayed all the time.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's in like all the top, whatever, top 20 runs of all time and stuff. That guy was so fun to watch, man. I never seen a guy that is so physical, but also so shifty.
His change of speed, for someone his size is so
side
hard
to side.
To
He was
front.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
and he was known as like a big physical back. But side to side, he was one of the best, if not the best in the league at the time.
Like his agility, like forwards and backwards wasn't the greatest, right? But his side to side was so good.
So good. So quick, so shifty.
And players can't get in front of you, right? And then they can't wrap you up. You're too strong.
Yeah. He's like the definition of is it the left joystick, the juke in Madden?
Hit stick? No, hit stick was defensive. Yeah. Or the truck.
I thought it was juke. Or
the
is juke right in, maybe it's R1 and L1.
I can't remember.
Whatever it is, yeah. So we're coming off do you want to start with yesterday's game? Or
let's get the Vikings game over with super quick.
Okay. It's just so disappointing to see what happened in the second half. It just seemed like, I don't know what happened. Like, there's still things, even in yesterday's win, there's things that are really bad signs, like getting dominated every game in time of possession. Getting absolutely dominated. We are terrible on both sides of the ball right now on third down. Our third down percentage on offense is like 33%, which is like 28th in the league or something. And our third down percentage on defense is, well, other teams are like 70% against us, which is like number 3 in the league or 2 in the league or something. Those things do not make for winning seasons and successful playoff trips. I don't know, like, I think there's a lot of things that need. It's funny because we have like a lot of good pieces in very important positions.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's just not working properly. Like, the Vikings game was very, very hard to watch. In the first half, the offense played pretty good. But we're down 7 at halftime or something.
It was 17-14. And then before halftime, then we missed the field goal. And then they scored a touchdown to make it 17-21 at halftime.
And then the second half was just maybe one of the worst halves of Seahawks football I've seen in a long, long time.
It was horrible. That was when Metcalf got taken out of the game, like mentally, right? Head case. Lockett wasn't doing much. Yeah. We didn't score a single point in the second half.
No points. That's so rare. And it just seemed like so many 3-and-outs.
And it's so frustrating, man. You get 3-and-out, you get nothing going, and that's it. Now you're relying on your defense, right?
Now the defense is back on the field 2 minutes later.
And there's your time of possession, right? You're letting up the third plays. Teams are going super short plays and just driving it up the field. And then your time of possession is so bad. It was like 1/3 of what the Vikings had.
Yeah. And honestly, like, everyone keeps talking about the defense is the problem. The defense is the problem. The defense is the problem. When you're on the field, for what was it? Last week was like 42 minutes or something.
Crazy, yeah.
That's insane, man. You're on the field for 3/4 of the game. It's actually not that bad that they only gave up 30 points.
That's pretty impressive.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of yards, but like the Seahawks are known for do not give up a big play, right?
Correct.
Their corners are playing 12 yards off.
Yeah, they play so far back.
Because they can't cover anyone, right? Well, at least Flowers and Reed to date through the first 4 weeks of the season have shown to be like hilariously bad.
Mm-hmm.
And just, man, straight liabilities. I don't know, man. Is that an underrated position? It's I guess it's interesting as like the team that you follow, every year there's going to be something that's a weak link, and you just maybe make a bigger deal of that position than it should be. But like, there's a reason that Jalen Ramsey makes $25 million a year, right?
There's a lot of teams that are struggling with CBs, right? Like short on CBs, good CBs. I think that's why you're seeing so many good wide receivers put up crazy numbers. A lot of teams, a lot of people are injured, and like you hear it like every weekend, like this guy's not playing, this guy's not whatever, and it's a lot of CBs for some reason.
It's interesting in the last couple of years that it seems like offenses are dominating. More yards, more points scored. Like last year was, I think, the most points in NFL history scored in a season. I think the Seahawks also set a record for the most points they've ever scored in a year.
Just all the offenses were on fire at the beginning of the year last year. It was crazy to watch because that was no preseason, right? So defenses couldn't figure it out, kind of.
Yeah. But then I also look at the Seahawks offense, and it seems like they're just not really gelling very well for some reason. I don't know. Like, I was watching other quarterbacks. So I was watching last night. What's the rookie at the Patriots?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, yeah. In the second half especially, he's getting the ball out so quickly. Like, it's like quick 3-step drop, and he's hitting a receiver 3 yards down the field, and they're getting 5-6 yards at a play. And it seems like the Seahawks rarely have that type of option or hit that option. And I don't know why. Because like looking at the Patriots last night, Bill Belichick, obviously one of the best coaches in NFL history, they almost just completely forego the run game when it isn't working at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, we're going to take all these underpasses instead. Yeah. And Mac Jones had this like 19 pass streak where he had 19 completions in a row, but everything is like down, let's say down the field, less than 10 yards, right?
Yeah. He's not scrambling. He's not making the play last longer, right?
So quick.
So quick.
I don't know why. It seems like the Seahawks don't really, I don't know if it's a Russell Wilson problem that he's just holding the ball too long and he's not looking at those options, or he's looking at option number 1 too long, or what? Or is it our offensive line is that bad that there's literally guys in his face at the end of his 3-step drop and you just can't see those guys? Or is it because he's too short and you can't see over the... No. This is a legitimate question, right? Like, what's his name? Drew Brees had that issue too, right? Like, he's always trying to look over the line because he was only 5'10" or something.
Right.
Is that I don't know. Maybe that's a problem. You can't see over the line, so you can't hit that 2
And he kind of has to get outside of DNs before he sees anything, kind of create... Yeah, but I mean, those short passes would really help our third downs, our driving, our time of possession. I think you made a great point. I think we don't know if it's Shane Waldron or really if it's Russ just playing hero ball, right? But it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I don't know where we go from here.
He doesn't he doesn't drop back a lot, right? Like even this week, his numbers weren't super exciting. But he still only threw the ball 26 times or something?
23 times,
23 times. That's so low.
It's too low. And you have like wide receivers like Metcalf and Lockett, they need to see the ball way more. And also...
Did Everett get a touch this week?
No, I don't think he played. He was on the COVID protocol.
Oh, that's right. Shit. That's right.
But still, Disley...
But Disley had a couple touches and his first catch, he fumbled it.
Two
He looked bad,
receptions.
to be honest. I don't know what happened this week. He had a really bad outing.
But still, like, DK Metcalf, 8 targets. Tyler Lockett, 5 targets. That's not even receptions. It's just targets. I see guys in the NFL, like tight ends, wide receivers, number one teams getting between like 15 and 20 sometimes.
Man, how many does friggin' Evans get on the Bucks, right?
All of them. Yeah, I mean,
13 to
12,
15 a
13
game?
yesterday. Yeah.
And then Antonio Brown, is he their second guy? I don't know.
Third guy.
He's their third guy, and he probably had like 8 receptions yesterday.
Probably like 6 drops. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so many
He
drops.
dropped it in the end zone at the end of the game. Remember?
Yeah. But see, they have who was the first receiver you said? Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
and they're all seeing the ball more than Metcalf and Lockett. Our tight ends aren't even being used, which would explain Russell Wilson not looking for the short pass, right? Only reasons in the first 2 weeks we even did anything was crazy catches by Lockett and adjustments. Like just deep balls, right? I think our short game needs to get a lot better.
So Waldron's not doing a very good job then.
I'm not impressed, man. Our offense is kind of struggling too. We started off the game with 5 3-and-outs. 5 3-and-outs.
It's unbelievable. I don't know if you're if you're like paying attention, but there's obviously I make a lot of notes. So we're talking about yesterday now. We're going to skip over the Vikings game. The Vikings game was shit.
Yeah.
They look like trash. The Vikings dominated time of possession. Fucking Kirk Cousins looked like a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We start the game with 2 inside runs. And then we have a 3rd and long, and we're 3 and out. And that happened multiple times in the first half where we run the ball inside on first down, gain 1 yard. Run the ball in the inside on second down, get -2 yards. Now it's 3rd and 11. There's not many defenses in the league that are so shitty that they can't figure out how to cover a 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
Right? When it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, there's just so many other like options that you can have. When you're 3rd and 11, like you
After
just
2
play
runs,
back, right?
Yeah.
You play at 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, run a 6-yard out. Go for it. I don't know, man. There's a lot that needs to be fixed. Someone texted me after the game and said, the second half was fun to watch, hey? And I said, not really. Like, yeah, sure, they put up some points in the 3rd quarter, which is great. But they still are boring, man.
It's boring.
And they have a chance late in the game to ice it, right? It was like 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
And they run a fucking shitty play and they punt the ball. Like, ice the game. Who's the best player on the team?
Wilson.
Why not? Like, just let him put the ball in your hand, man.
Yeah.
When there's 1 minute left and you're down by 1 and Michael Jordan's on your team, who's getting the football or who's getting the basketball? Michael Jordan.
No question.
Everyone knows. The other team knows. The coaches know. The fans know. Michael Jordan knows. And if you think you're taking the ball away from him, he'll punch you in the face and then take the ball and then he'll go and score.
Man, when those games start with like the 2 inside runs, it's so deflating as a fan. Also, especially like this year, our run game, we haven't done shit. Chris Carson hasn't done anything. I'm super happy that Alex Collins is finally starting to get burned. What do you think about him?
I love it. I love him.
Do you think he should split the carries between him and Carson? Or do you think we should still feeding the Carson and just...
I think Carson's a better back.
Yeah.
I think when Carson's in the game, other teams think we're running the football. And when Chris Collins is in the game, other teams think we're passing the football. So I think Collins has a bit of an advantage there. But Chris Carson's a great back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think we have the... what am I looking for? The change of pace, the array of play calls. Like there's no surprise involved in anything that we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So like it's easy to just stack the box on first down and there's 8 guys in there and there's 6 offensive linemen and guess what? There's 2 free guys that are gonna we're just not getting anything.
Yeah.
It's too predictable. I don't know if you notice, and I did not take stats on this stuff, but it's unbelievable how much more fun and how much more time Russell Wilson has to throw the ball when they run play action.
Oh my God. It's night and
When
day.
he drop step straight back on third, this is so fucking frustrating, man. It's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11. Like we have that every second series, it seems like. 3rd and long. And the play call is drop, 5-step drop straight back. And how many times do we get sacked on 3rd down?
So much, man. He just doesn't have the time for those drop back passes.
Especially when you're waiting for your receivers to get to 12 yards, 13, 14 yards, right?
To meet the DBs, yeah.
Right. But like on play action, outside of the pocket is where Russell Wilson is really good.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it's because the offensive line is bad or if he literally just can't see over the line. I'm not sure. But he's so much better and he has so much more time and he makes good decisions outside the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that is being utilized enough times in a football game. Hey, 3rd and 22. What is this? The Seahawks game? What does this sound like?
Man, oh, here we go.
2nd and 7, then we take a holding penalty. Great.
Do you think it's tougher for us to run those plays when our running game isn't doing anything so teams don't respect it?
Even if they don't respect it and they think we're passing,
It's still an option.
I still like the option of play action is 1.
Mm-hmm.
It gets Carson moving out of the backfield. 2, it gets Russell Wilson outside the pocket, away from D ends and D line.
Yeah.
So it just gives him more time.
Right. So now you're not relying so much on your O-line. You let Russell do his thing on the outside.
I mean, like, how long do we wait and just keep doing the same thing? Right? Like, that was one of the most painful 60 minutes of football I've ever watched. The second half of last week's game and the first half of this week's game.
The first half was so bad.
Unbelievable. They just got absolutely dominated in every aspect of the football game and somehow are tied 7-7. Like, we could have easily been down 24-7 at halftime.
Easy. I think we have our defense to thank for the first half there.
It's interesting, man. Like, watching, I don't think the Minnesota Vikings are a better offensive team than the San Francisco 49ers. Yet, the defense and gave up a lot of yards again, but like, if you're giving up 21 points a game, you should win most games in the NFL. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I even look back after last night, I was kind of like replaying a bunch of shit in my head. And this is the kind of crap that goes on weekly for me. I'm thinking about like individual plays and like how they affect the game at those times. And there's so many things that went the Seahawks' way this week that could have not. Like, even if 50% of them don't go the Seahawks' way, we're losing the football game, right?
Right.
Like that fumble on the kickoff early in the third quarter after we score a touchdown. That like Quandre Diggs pick was big. I thought.
Yeah.
That guy came out of nowhere. That guy's a fucking baller, man. I don't know if you watch him that closely, but like he is involved on a lot of football plays. And he hits people hard.
Yes, he does. Wasn't he that hit George Kittle so hard and like
in the end zone?
Yeah.
No, that was Adams.
That was Adams, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure George Kittle is hurt right now, and he felt that.
Oh, 100%. Those two safeties are awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny when I look at our defense, like it's not that bad.
No.
The guys involved are not that bad.
No.
The D line could be slightly better. If we had one more, like, I think if we had one really good corner and one weak corner, you can just kind of like shadow that guy's way or have Diggs kind of play a little bit that way.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to worry about, like, that's the advantage. And I don't know, like, Richard Sherman signs with the Bucks this week.
Yeah.
And yes, he's an older guy, but he can play one-on-one coverage. And that is something that we don't have anyone on our team who can do that.
And he's so smart.
So smart, so physical, 100%.
Yeah.
He hasn't played, I think they said he played 6 games last year because he was injured a bunch.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played it all this year, obviously. And he starts this week for the Bucks and looks good. Man. Right?
Props.
Sure, he makes mistakes and he's aggressive and he takes a couple, like a PI call every now and then. But teams are afraid of him because he's so aggressive, right?
But even in like his communication, defensive planning with all the other safeties and backs, right? Like he probably makes everyone more of a unit just through experience.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, what did you think of Sidney Jones this week? So he got the start.
I have some notes on him.
Yeah.
First half, he was not good.
No.
He started. I don't know where this shit comes from, man. Like, you're in the NFL. You were the best corner on I think the Jags last year. Yeah. Which it doesn't say much,
no.
But still, you got to have some swagger coming into a new team.
Yeah.
Saying like, I was the best on my team. I'm going to fucking show up. Let's go. This is my opportunity as a young kid. How old is he? 25, 26, whatever. To like get my paycheck, right?
Yeah.
I've sat on the bench for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Let's go. And in the first quarter, he looked scared almost. I don't know. He was playing really soft. I thought he like adjusts to the ball well. Like, he's never lost like Flowers is all the time.
Yeah.
But there was one play I remember, I think it was in the first quarter. His guy ran down the sideline and he was in great position and just did not make a play on the football. The ball kind of fluttered in the air and the guy caught it for a touchdown. But it could have easily been picked if he just like made a play. Just make a play. And that's what I feel like our corners are lacking is they're all so fucking scared to make a play. I don't know. They're always just like on their heels.
Yeah.
And nobody is like adjusting and except, I mean, Adams and Diggs are great, I think. And obviously that pick that Diggs had was like a really good example of making a really good break on the football. But the corners just don't have it yet. I thought in the second half he was much better.
Yeah.
I don't know what changes. Like, it's so funny, man. Like, I remember playing football and when the ball's in the air, just go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of like sitting behind the guy and then he caught it and then it was like one of these little taps on the shoulder. I don't know. I'm confused. So I think he's better than, like, he looked better than Flowers. At least he has the potential. I just don't know why he was so nervous and shy coming into the football game.
This was a 75-yard touchdown to Deebo Samuel, right? That people are blaming on him.
No. It was in the first half.
People are saying that was his fault too.
Who's the touchdown in the first half? That wide open one.
Yeah, the wide open one.
I don't know. I can't remember that one.
They're saying that it was his coverage and it just broke whatever. I don't know, but
obviously something happened there where there's a miscommunication about
it's more than
what
one
coverage are we in.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's to blame for that, but
he had a pass knockdown stat this week. So first
when was
time.
the last fucking time we had that in a football game?
Flowers had 0.
I don't know if you
year.
remember the first touchdown. I think it was to one of the tight ends. It wasn't Kittle. It was like another tight end guy.
Let me see here.
It was just like a straight route down the sideline and he was covering him and he was in perfect position the whole time.
Yeah.
And the ball kind of fluttered and was slightly behind him. And he just stayed behind him instead of like breaking to the football, easily knocking it down. But like, it's a play that could have been picked.
There was Ross Dwelly from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, no name.
Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know. Who's Jimmy Garoppolo?
He gone, by the way, right?
Dude, I don't know. People don't really know if he was injured or if the coach Shanahan just pulled him to make a point. Because I've been hearing things that Shanahan is not too happy about how much they had to give up to get Trey Lance. That's what I've been hearing. So I don't know if he kind of put him in to make a point. But Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't hit hard on a play, didn't have to walk off. He was just hanging out on the sideline after. So there's some rumors going on there. So keep an eye out on that.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Trey Lance did not look good.
He, yeah, I mean, like, was that really like his first opportunity this season?
I think he's had 7 snaps before this game, yeah.
Okay. It's hard to judge, like, I think even during the game or maybe during last night's game, the Patriots game, the commentators are talking about Chris Collinsworth. Those guys last night are so much better than the like plugs you get on Sunday, better, Sunday morning games or afternoon games. You've never heard of these guys before. And it's just a loose cannon of who you get. I don't know. Sometimes you're on NBC or whatever, ABC, and you just get this fucking
PG general, just PC. Yeah.
I don't get it. There has to be someone better. I don't know. Anyway, Drew Brees is kind of just starting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has a lot of intelligent things to say. It just seems like he doesn't have the confidence yet.
You just got to be himself, right?
I know.
That's the biggest thing.
That's what Romo's so good at.
Yeah. Yes.
Romo doesn't have like the like politically correct, or he doesn't need to articulate super well. He just needs to like say what is going on in his head because he knows.
But where
He's
is he?
seeing it all.
Is he still doing games? Not really, right? You haven't heard of him for a little bit. You think someone has a problem with the way he does that?
No, I think he does games every week.
He still does, right?
I think he does one game a week.
Yes. Okay.
So maybe it's just
not prime
the
time,
games
so
that
you don't
we're
see
watching.
him. Yeah.
No, he's probably prime time. He's probably getting good games, but maybe just not the ones that we watch. I don't know. Are you watching a lot?
I try to watch a lot and I haven't seen him this year.
You haven't seen him at all?
No.
I don't know. I wonder. No, I'm pretty sure he's doing games.
Yeah?
Can you search that?
Yeah.
Because someone told me that he's the highest paid announcer in football.
Oh, yeah. That's a couple of years ago.
So I
he got
assume
the
if he's getting
contract.
paid a lot of money, he's probably doing a game a week.
He's somewhere. Well, they should put him on more important games, man. Where is he right now?
I think it's probably the network, right?
Yeah.
So who does he work for? Because
CBS.
Monday night is Fox,
That makes sense. He's with CBS.
and then Sunday night is NBC.
That would explain why we don't see him.
So he's always doing a 1 o'clock game, I think.
125. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 17 million a year. They're paying him.
Baby, just to talk about football. Carl, man, if you called me at the beginning of the season and said, Denny, we're making $17 million to do this podcast here, it wouldn't be too bad.
Not a bad gig, yeah.
We may or may not have the track record of Tony Romo, but we sure as hell have the passion.
Yeah. That's the truth.
I feel like we bring up a lot of good points too. Definitely
I think so.
more than the current NFL announcers on an average Sunday morning or afternoon game have.
I feel just like going through stats and stuff, it's kind of boring. You just got to bring your
So
personality to it,
boring.
right?
When something happens on 1st and 10 in the middle of the second quarter, and the thing they bring up is, hey, would you look at that? This is the third time that Russell Wilson has passed for 7 yards in the second quarter while wearing green socks. Nobody cares. It's not important.
No one cares.
Talk to me about why Trey Flowers is so shitty.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how they get better. Say real things like, hey, Waldron brought you over here to win games and be a little more creative, not to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down.
Oh my God.
For -1 yards. I don't know, man. The surprise of the week? Would you say the surprise of the week? Cardinals beating the Rams?
Surprise of the week for sure.
Thrashing the Rams.
Dude, Kyler Murray is playing out of his mind right now. Out of his mind. Yeah, the Cardinals really
Rams got
surprised me.
pumped. I'm into it. Because mostly because of Mike. Mike tells me the Rams are the best team in the league. And I say, nope, I don't like the Rams.
Not anymore.
And they just got pumped. And I have not watched 1 second of Cardinals football this year, nor do I plan to until the Seahawks play them. But I don't know. I don't think, I don't know much about them, so it's hard for me to form an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the best team in the NFC though? As of right now, they have to be. They're 4-0.
I guess so. They just beat the Rams, which are number
They're
2.
4-0.
So.
They beat who everyone would say was the best team in the
Yeah.
NFC.
I guess so. As of right now, yeah.
Who's second best?
Rams, I guess. And then
Is
clearly
Green Bay in the conversation? They're 3-1.
Ooh.
Is Dallas in the conversation? They're 3-1.
The thing with Dallas is like they're such a shitty division and they've never really done anything over the last couple of years. You just don't know with them.
And they lost to the Bucks week 1 that they should have won that game.
Yeah.
Remember that? So they could be 4-0 anyway.
Same thing with the Packers. They got fucking dumpster the first game, and then we didn't even know if Rodgers even wants to be there. So Packers up in the air too.
But
I'm
they're
just not
3-1.
sure. Yeah.
Won 3 games in a row.
Yeah. And then the Bucks lose to the Rams last week, and then the Rams lose to the Cardinals this week. I think it's pretty exciting in the NFC.
And the Rams could have lost last night too. Or sorry, the Bucks could have lost last night. I wish.
Oh
they
my
did.
God. I wish so bad. Oh, if Belichick and Mac Jones figured it out.
Well, that guy hit the friggin' post in the field goal. In
That's
the
true
last
too. That's tough.
30 seconds.
That is tough.
The NFL is so fun. Love the NFL.
Man.
Thursday night football this week.
Yeah, we got an early turnaround.
What are you doing for it?
What am I doing for it? No plans.
Want to come over, order some za?
Sure, let's do it.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
gonna be a big game.
Huge. And
Yeah.
honestly, based on the last 2 performances, especially the second half of last week, first half of this week,
Mm-hmm.
and just how boring, like the play calling, like just the lack of diversity
Yeah,
in play calling.
I know.
It's like either it's going to be a 12-yard out to DK Metcalf, a 40-yard go to Lockett, or we're going to run the football up the middle. Like,
Dude, maybe the Seahawks are playing CFL rules. I don't know if they know they have a third down. Just trying to get the 10 yards every time.
I don't know. It's strange. And like stats wise, Russ is having a pretty good year,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason it looks like mediocre.
I know. He's having a good year. He doesn't get the ball a lot. He's not touching the ball a lot. That's the fucking thing, man. Him and Garoppolo had the same amount of passes last game, and Garoppolo didn't play the second half.
He's 70,
Attempts, I should say.
70% completion rate. He's only thrown the ball 109 times this year
That's fucking crazy.
in 4 games.
Guys are throwing 50 plus in a single
So he's
game.
averaging, what is that, 26 throws a game, passes a game. A lot of guys are 40 passes a game. Right?
Yeah.
He has 1,044 yards, 9 touchdowns, no picks, passer rating of 130.
And
Like, the numbers are good. Just
he needs the
you're
ball
right,
more.
He's not touching the ball enough.
Yeah.
Or he's not throwing the ball enough. I don't know. It is funny. I would love to see, them start the game next week with like a 3-yard pass completion.
To a
There's like
tight end.
a quick slant to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
He gets hit right away. He's 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah,
Perfect.
gets the ball. His
Keep
hands
going.
feel the ball, right?
Keep
Get
going.
him into it. I think that's the way to go, man. That's the way to start. No more of these fucking inside runs back to back. And then you're forced to make a
2-yard
play.
gain. 3rd and 7.
Guys are not
No
going to
way.
expect this one. No, the play calling needs to get better a lot. It needs to become more diverse. I think both receivers, Lockett, I know Lockett and Metcalf, a lot people saying Lockett was playing injured a little bit this week. There's something going on with both of them.
He was questionable to play this week.
Yeah, so he's not 100%, but
Remember he had that weird
he
tackle where
went
he got
back
spun
on his,
around and
on his leg.
like it almost looked like he tore something in his knee.
Honestly, like our defense isn't that bad right now, minus the cornerbacks, but hopefully that gets better with Sidney Jones. I hope he figures it out quick. But we just have to be more consistent with our drive down the field, get more plays in a row.
I know, and that's an offensive problem, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone is thrashing on the defense, but like when we're giving up last week 30 points when they have the ball, our defense is on the field for like 42 or 44 minutes or something.
Yeah. What do you expect?
That's not bad.
Not
and
bad
like
at all.
even this week we got dominated in time of possession.
Yeah.
I think it was like 35-25 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And giving up 21 points, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's a defense.
It's not bad. They give up a lot of yards, which is, I don't give a fuck about the yards necessarily.
No.
How many points are on the board?
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If every drive you give up 2 first downs and then a punt, you're gonna like they're getting 30, 40 yards in a drive.
Yeah, but it doesn't
But
mean
so what?
anything. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Or even like holding long drives that take a lot of time off the clock, holding them to a field goal. Those are huge, man.
Mm-hmm.
Huge for wins.
Yeah, so like time of possession, we get that up. Our defense is going to be on the field even less, right? Make them look even better. Yeah, let's figure out this short game, man. Let's just focus on that. Get our fucking tight ends involved. Get Everett involved. I hope he's a big deal next week too because he played for LA. So I hope he comes fired up. I don't know what's going on with Disley.
Start of the game next week. Shane Waldron. I know you're listening to this.
Shane, please.
Start of the game. We're going to go 3-step drop, quick slant to Metcalf to start the game for 4 yards. And then we're going to go play action. Don't hand it off on 3rd and 7 or 2nd and 7. Play action. And we're going to Russ out of the pocket. And it's going to be an 8-yard throw for a first down. That's how we're going to start the game.
That's a great start. It's better than our first 5 out of 3 no outs.
Let's fucking go. What? I don't understand why they think it's easy to go 3rd and 9 all the time. Because then you're running these like super predictable outs with DK, right?
Yeah.
DK's running a 10-yard out that's coming back, and everyone knows it's happening. And then he's trying to make like a circus catch while there's 2 guys on him.
Yeah. It's too hard. It's not consistent, right?
Also, I do like running through my notes just to share because some of them are funny.
Of course.
It's a lot of emotion.
What you got for us?
So, start of the game, 2 inside runs, and then 3 and out. What bullshit. Jones looks timid on the first drive, got beat for a TD. He was in great position. It was a bad throw. He could have easily made a play. And then I got Quandre with 4 exclamation marks. You can know when that happened. Dwayne Brown never gets beat, and he just got absolutely dummied one play. Yeah. And I can't remember seeing that out of him. Mm-hmm. Straight dummy sack on 3rd down. That was a big, big play in the game. It's just funny that happened at that time. Next note. What the fuck are we doing? Another run on 1st down. Another run on 2nd down. 0 yards. What the fuck? Our offense is tragic on 3rd down. And that I think that's something that it has to get better later in the season as we go forward. Otherwise, we're not going to win football games.
Yeah.
The DBs look like they're in better position just to make plays in the first half. I think that's a good thing. Also, Ryan Neal.
Yeah. Surprising, eh? Whoa.
He got a lot more snaps this game. I don't know why. Like maybe they're playing 5 DBs a lot or something.
They had 6 DBs at one point a couple times too.
Okay, so that's why.
Lots of people mentioned Ryan Neal. We got to shout him out, man. That was a good show by him for sure. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
This one may be controversial, so you can tell me what you think. Metcalf is not a top receiver in the league yet. These drops are so frustrating.
He is getting better at creating separation, but it's still his mental, being a head case is an issue, and his hands are not that good. A lot of easy drops.
Funny, he shows moments of brilliance, right? Like that touchdown he had, that route was phenomenal. Do you remember watching the replay?
Oh yeah, man. He looked great.
It looked really good. And a lot of times his hands look great. But other times for some reason he just like, I don't know, isn't paying attention or isn't, I don't know.
Also like 6'4", 235. He doesn't like the 50-50 balls. He should be coming down with a lot more than he does.
He should. Those 3rd and 7 outs that he's running are good patterns for him in one-on-one coverage because a lot of DBs are like 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet. And he's just dominating them. He needs to come down with a lot of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, my comment was he's not a top receiver in the league yet.
No. A couple things you got to work on. And then I think he has the tools to get there, but right now, no.
He's got one of the most ridiculous bodies you've ever seen in the NFL, right?
Dude, no cornerback in the NFL should ever come close to being able to guard him one-on-one. He's a fucking freak. I think it's all up to him at this point.
Agree. Okay, prediction, Thursday night.
Oh, fuck.
This is a massive, massive football game. I feel so much better after beating the 49ers than I did, obviously, 2 days ago. It's going to be a really tough game. The Rams are coming off a loss. It's in Seattle, which hopefully helps.
Okay. Dude, if we lost to San Fran and we were going 1-3 into this game, this would be a problem.
I know.
I think
it'd be 1-4.
This San Fran win was a lot bigger than I think a lot of people think.
Huge, 100%. I totally agree. Being back at 500, 2-2. I realistically think the Seahawks are better than they have shown so far this year. And I think the D is going to be pumped to play this week. And I think the Seahawks win a very, very close game.
Yeah.
27, 24.
That's low scoring, eh? You mean it'd be a defensive battle here or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we can win a shootout.
No. I think for us to have a chance against the Rams, I think both Alex Collins and Chris Carson are going to have a big game. Last week, or this weekend, Arizona was able to put up like almost 230 rushing yards. So I think that's going to be huge. I think that'll open up our whole play action. But I think our running is very important about this team. But I'm going to say that the Seahawks lose this week. I'm going to go 33-27. That's my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. But I think LA is going to be a little bit upset after last week's loss. And I don't know our offense against their defense. If, with our issues that we're having, it's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm. It's a strange game. Who knows? Honestly, so this is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Seahawks are going to lose and it's going to be a close game. I think either we win really, really tight game and just kind of grind it out and maybe get lucky again, like this week, have an extra turnover or something like that.
Okay.
Or we lose like 37-17.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Just a bunch of things go wrong, kind of like the Vikings game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we don't see that because it's going to hurt my heart. And after last week's game and this first half, my heart hurts. So
first half was so bad.
It was so fucking boring too, man.
Offense was tragic. Like no one looked like they were. It just looked so bad. Like everything about it looked bad. Russell Wilson didn't look like he had any energy. The offensive line was bad. Like we were running the ball way too much.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
Everything looked weird.
I say we have to run the ball more next week, but I don't mean like force it. I mean like mix it up more, right? I don't want these fucking 2 inside plays back
mix
to back.
Mix it up. I know. Anyway. Do you feel better about Seahawks football than you did 5 days ago?
100 times better. San Fran is a pretty solid team. They're struggling huge at the quarterback position, but like their defense is still legit. And going into this week against Seattle, their offense was in the top 10. So I think it was just good. It was a good showing. I think we really, really, really needed that because like going 1-3 against the Rams would be a scary, scary situation. And then we'd be last place in the division, right? Fuck yeah. No, I'm really happy with that win yesterday, man. It was good.
All right, go Hawks. Big Thursday game. Let's go.